So smartphones are now an integral part of our daily lives. And with the rise of AI-driven technology, Samsung is leading the way with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. While it introduces some practical AI features such as a glorified Grammarly for your text messages, the S24 Ultra's standout feature remains its overall excellence as a smartphone. In this comprehensive review, I'll delve into various aspects of the phone, the good, the bad, to help you make an informed decision. Let's start with the first thing you notice on this phone, the design and the display. The S24 Ultra might look exactly like the Ultra phones from the past couple of years, but check it out a bit closer and we're talking upgrades this year. Unlike the S23 Ultra, which was all about the armor aluminum, the S24 Ultra has a titanium chassis, just like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And let me tell you, it feels premium in hand. Also, it's less slippery compared to the S23 Ultra, and it's more boxier than ever. Samsung's throwing in claims about this new titanium frame making it the toughest Galaxy smartphone ever. I'm not about to test that by wrecking the phone, but I'll say it does feel sturdier with this fresh frame. Still, wouldn't hurt to slap on a case, just in case. Another big change in the design is the flat display. Now, I was team curved display all the way, so when I heard it's going flat, I was like, no. But honestly, now after using the phone, I don't miss it that much. And that probably has to do with the symmetry. There's something sleek about those uniform bezels. Plus, watching stuff on the screen is like a visual feast. The display on the S23 Ultra was already incredible, and it blows my mind that Samsung made it even better on the S24 Ultra with now 2600 nits of peak brightness. Outdoors, it leaves my S23 Ultra and the 15 Pro Max in the dust. It's worth noting that the display is slightly on the natural side compared to the S23 Ultra, which is more vibrant. This is not something you notice unless you are specifically looking for it side by side, but yeah, something to keep in mind. Samsung has also added this anti-reflection coating, and this is a game changer, especially for dark mode addicts like me. Less reflection means colors pop more and blacks are deeper. This is hands down my favorite upgrade on the display, and I'm surprised that Samsung didn't shout about it more. Like if Apple did this, they would be calling it revolutionary. Samsung, please step up your marketing game. This phone also has better scratch resistant glass, which is great for folks like me who don't like using screen protectors. So far, no scratches, but it's early days. Let me see how it holds up over time. Before going further, I want to remind you that there are only a few days left for the pre-orders to end, which means all those sweet deals will go away, which includes a $150 free Samsung credit, double the storage, up to $750 off in trade-in, and a 15% educational discount. If you are interested, I've got the links in the description. Another area where I was truly impressed with this phone is with the battery life. The S23 Ultra already had a solid battery, but somehow Samsung made it even better on the S24 Ultra despite the same capacity. With my average use of social media, calls, YouTube and Netflix, I'm rocking more than 50% battery at the end of the day. And on travel days, I don't have to worry about the battery at all. I can use it however I want, whichever resource-hungry app I want. The battery's got my back. With my usage in 10 days, I struggle to even come close to killing this thing in a day. The only way I did it was by making a battery drain test which lasted for nearly 13 hours of continuous heavy usage, which is incredible. It's even more than both the 15 Pro Max and the S23 Ultra, so big ups to Samsung on this one. As for the performance, I really don't have much to say about it beyond the simple observation that once again Qualcomm has seemingly knocked it out of the park with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It excels in everything you throw at it. I mean, the S24 Ultra can handle anything and everything that's on the Play Store without breaking a sweat, ensuring snappy performance and responsiveness. In fact, it feels more fluid than the S23 Ultra. Maybe that has to do with the One UI 6.1, but I have no complaints with the performance, it's just solid. Now coming to the thermals, when I put the S24 Ultra through its paces in a battery marathon, it did get a bit warmer than the other two. But hey, I was pushing it for a solid 13 hours straight, not exactly normal use. Since then, in my everyday phone life, no heat issues to report. It's basically the same deal as my experience with the S23 Ultra. Alright, let's talk about the big deal this year, the Galaxy AI. They are well integrated into the S24 Ultra. One of my favorite ones is the circle to search, and it works impressively well so far. Just circle anything on your screen and it brings relevant results. Shopping is the most obvious use case. Another favorite feature of mine is instant slow-mo, which lets me preview any video in my gallery in slow motion just by pressing and holding the clip. I also like the writing style tool in the Messages app, which will surely come in handy. However, what I liked better was the web summarization, instantly saving my time and energy. It cuts through the unnecessary flubs on websites. You can also do the same in the Notes app, however there is a cap of 8,000 characters. You can also translate live calls in real time, which also works pretty well. It's a great feature you'll get a lot of use out of, provided you talk with people who speak other languages. Same with features like the interpreter. If you're talking in person in a different language, this will come in handy. The translation function also expands to the keyboard. Then there are AI photo editing features. You get these one-tap options to mess with your photos, like getting rid of stuff you don't want, expanding the photos, or tweaking things. It works absolutely fine most of the time, but like any AI thing, it doesn't always hit the mark, but still pretty impressive. Now coming to the camera, Samsung's camera game has always been solid, but they do lean towards more popping colors compared to say the iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you dig that vibrant vibe, which I personally do, the S24 Ultra's cameras won't disappoint. You can get some really stunning photos out of this phone. Now, they've made a move from a 10 megapixel sensor with 10x zoom to a 50 megapixel sensor with 5x zoom. It's a good shift and you get some pretty great pictures from the sensor. A lot of people were worried that since they downgraded to 5 zoom, the quality at 10x zoom will be inferior, but that's not the case. It actually looks the same or even better in some cases. Shutter lag is better than before. You can now shoot 4K at 60 FPS from all lenses with seamless zoom between them. Sure, there's still room for improvement here, but it's way better than the S23 Ultra. You can also record 4K in 120 FPS mode, which brings that cool slow motion in 4K quality. Pretty impressive. All in all, camera system on the S24 Ultra is pretty great. I'm sure there will be some who'll pixel peep to find tiny flaws, but for 99% of the people out there, the camera on this thing is incredible. Samsung is also supporting this phone for 7 years with OS and security updates. I'm sure you're not going to keep this phone for 7 years, but I think this will help in bringing up the resale value of the phone. Put all of this together, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is easily Samsung's best phone to date, combining great features with one of the slickest performance I've ever seen on a phone, not to mention great battery life. Now, should you buy it? Well, if you have the S23 Ultra, then no, because Samsung already mentioned that some of these AI features will also come to the S23. But if you're gonna take advantage of the pre-order offers, then making the jump from the S23 Ultra could be worth it. But if you have the S22 Ultra or earlier phones, then you can surely consider this phone. It's a solid upgrade. Again, if you're interested, the offer link is in the description. Also, if you want to make your S24 Ultra look like this, including this wallpaper for free, I've made a tutorial already. I'll put the link to the wallpaper in the description of this video. Check it out here and I'll see you there.